Hi, this is Damon from Top 5 E-Bikes, and today I'm going to review the Thunder One from Velotric. I'm super excited to talk about this bike. It's not even on the market yet. We're one of the first batch of e-bike reviewers, influencers, whatever you want to call us, to get this bike. Thanks to everyone that has been supporting our channel and commenting and engaging with our videos. We really appreciate it. It's helping us get on the radar of some of these newer e-bike companies, making really cool, exciting bikes. This is a very high-tech bike. This bike kind of reminds me of a Van Moof because, like I said, there's a lot of technology and R&D that went into this bike. There's an app that integrates really nicely with this bike, one of the coolest apps I've ever used in association with an e-bike. Velotric is maybe a newer company on the scene. They've been around for the last couple of years. One of the reasons we're really excited about working with them is they're making kind of more premium e-bikes for an affordable price with a real focus on design. This is a really cool looking bike, and you can tell that a lot of design effort was made into creating this particular city commuter e-bike. Another thing that's really cool about Velotric, the founder of that company is actually a co-founder of Lime, the e-scooter company. So he brings a lot of knowledge, obviously, but he also brings a team of key engineers that were in charge of the hardware division. A lot of that technology from that company, from the motors and the battery design, is going into all the Velotric bikes. And because of the inroads that he's made and the people that he's surrounded himself with at key levels of the company, they have a lot of manufacturing connections, and their supply chain is pretty dialed in for a newer e-bike company. You're gonna hear a lot of exciting things about this company. I'm super excited to talk about this e-bike. Like every review, I'm gonna tell you the pros and cons of this e-bike, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you final thoughts at the end of the e-bike, and we're gonna intersperse some Santa Barbara ride footage like we always do. We've had some really beautiful spring days here in Santa Barbara, so we're really excited to share that footage with you. So yeah, let's get into it. Before I forget, if you're not already subscribing to Top 5 E-Bikes, please hit that subscribe button right now. And if you really like this video, drop us a comment and let us know that you appreciate all the work that we put into this channel. The Thunder One is designed with a minimalist frame and an integrated battery with 0 exposed wires for a clean look. It weighs only 36 pounds and comes in 2 sizes. The bike pictured here is the medium, and it's suitable for riders between 5'6" and 6 feet tall. The large is suitable for riders between 5'10" and 6'5". The tires on the Thunder One are more like road bike tires. They're pretty slim. They're 700 by 38 centimeters. If you're less of a metric system person, that's about 27.5 by 1.5 inch tires. This is a Class 1 e-bike. It has no throttle and is capable of speeds of up to 20 miles per hour. It has 5 levels of pedal assist. The Thunder One has a 70-mile max range with its 36-volt, 353-watt-hour battery. The proprietary Velopower E35 motor is a 350-watt, 600 peak watt motor capable of generating 45 Newton meters of torque. This drive system is one of the smallest, lightest, and quietest motors powered by a torque sensor. The brakes are Tektro HD R280 hydraulic disc brakes. This is an 8-speed drivetrain with a Shimano Altus groupset and Shimano trigger shifters. There is no LED screen because you use Velotric's integrated app to monitor your speed, battery charge, and pedal assist levels. But that's not everything. This app also includes anti-theft capabilities and allows you to track and lock your bike if it ever becomes stolen. It includes keyless unlock using your fingerprint. It also has GPS tracking to track your rides and record distances traveled. Health tracking helps you record calories burned and also how much CO2 you've saved by opting to ride as opposed to using your car. It also includes an auto headlight. This e-bike retails for $17.99 at the time we are recording this video. It comes in 3 colors: frozen blue, crystal black lava, and sand. So here's some of the things I really like about this bike. Number one, the design. I think it's one of the prettiest e-bikes that I've ever had the chance to ride. I love the color. They're calling this frozen blue. It's kind of got this, starts out with this like crystal white color, and then it has this like gradient that fades into like a darker blue, almost like a gray. The geometry of this bike, the shape of the frame, it's got these slim tires. It's got a real road bike type of feel to it. And it's only 36 pounds. So this is a true city commuter e-bike. It's an 8-speed, not a single speed, but it is a little similar to like the Propella and the Roadster and the KBO Hurricane, some of the other city commuter e-bikes that we've reviewed. But this one is a little more powerful. It's got a 350 watt motor and it has peak 600 watt power. The motor is what they're calling the E35. It's a proprietary motor that is manufactured by Velotric, and it's one of the lightest and quietest motors you can get. The other thing that's super exciting about this bike, it's got a torque sensor. It's got a real natural pedaling feel, and it's one of my favorite things about this bike. It's just the ride feel. It's very quick, it's very nimble, you feel very connected to this bike when you're pedaling, and it's quick. It's just a quick, fun bike to ride. You can get up to 20 really fast on this bike on flat ground, and it's a class 1 e-bike, so there's no throttle. It's great if you're looking for more of like a fitness type bike, right? If you like riding bikes and you like a more natural feel to a bike, this is maybe the bike for you. Really fun to ride, amazing handling. The components are pretty high quality for this type of bike. It's retailing for $17.99, although I think there's a promo as we launch this video. But for $17.99, I mean, you're getting a torque sensor. That's not really something you see too often. I think you're starting to see it more with some of the bikes in this class. It's got high quality components that you don't usually see in a bike in the $1,800 range. It's got the Shimano Altus group set. It's got really nice trigger shifters. It's got Tektro hydraulic disc brakes. And it also has a 36 volt battery. I think it's 363 watt hours. They claim it can get up to 50 miles under one charge. The reason that you're able to get that much mileage out of one charge from this size battery is because of the torque sensor. So torque sensors naturally are a little more battery efficient because, like I said, you're using a little bit more of your leg power to move the bike, right? Whereas a cadence sensor, it just drains power from the battery more quickly. Really cool to have a bike that's a city commuter e-bike that's 36 pounds, lightning quick, with a torque sensor. I think that's maybe one of the main reasons someone would want to get this e-bike, and why I really enjoy riding it. I've already put about 45 miles on it, but it's the kind of bike that it's addictive to ride. I see it across the room from me in my office, and it wants to be ridden. Like, I feel like every day I need to take this bike out. So I feel like I'm gonna get in good shape riding this bike, and it's a really good fitness bike if you're looking for that type of bike. I think it's a good bike for maybe someone that is used to riding road bikes and they want to dip their toe in the water with an e-bike. I think this would be a pretty ideal transition bike for that. The other cool thing is the app. One of the best apps I've ever used in association with an e-bike. It's got a lot of cool health stats. It's recording all of your trips, and it gives you this really cool calendar view with like bar graphs, charts that tells you, how many miles have you ridden this week, this month, this year. Really intuitive, and it also has a kind of find your bike feature, right? So if your bike ever gets stolen, you can use that to track your bike, and you can actually use the app to lock your bike. So there is no LCD screen. The LCD screen is your phone, it's the app. I was a little kind of reluctant about it until I tried using it. The app is so great, and it really serves all the same functions of the LCD screen. It gives you your speed, shows you your odometer, how many calories you're generating. It kind of makes me feel like, well, what do you need an LCD screen for anyway, right? If you can have an integrated app. All right, you've heard me go on and on about how cool this e-bike is. Again, the Velotric Thunder 1. There's gonna be a step-through edition of this bike. This is the Thunder 1 though. Some of the things I don't think are great about this e-bike No e-bike is perfect, of course. The handlebars, right? This is the medium-sized version of this bike. There's actually 2 sizes. So it's suitable for a rider my size. I'm 5'7", but even me at 5'7", you know, it's a lean forward type of ride, right? And these are not very comfortable grips. You know, after about 10 miles between the grips and this seat, there's almost no padding on this seat. You're gonna wanna upgrade these things pretty quickly, or at least you're gonna wanna wear those like padded biking gloves just to help with the pressure, because you're putting a lot of pressure on your palms when you're riding this bike. So it could be maybe a adjustable stem to rise the handlebars. That might be a nice addition. So the second thing that is potentially a con, depending on what type of rider you are, is the torque sensor. Torque sensors are cool. Like I said before, they help you feel more connected to the e-bike. It's a little bit more of a natural pedal feel. A torque sensor is not as good for hill climbing as a cadence sensor, right? A cadence sensor, you're gonna feel that boost right away, right? Torque sensor, you've got to work a little bit. So climbing the steeper hills, even though this is an 8-speed, it does require more effort than a typical e-bike, maybe with a cadence sensor would. That might be something you're not prepared for. I noticed there's a lot of e-bikes, the newer e-bikes. Event 10 has been releasing e-bikes with torque sensors, like the Adventure, for instance. It's just harder to get up hills with some of those bikes compared to the previous versions that had the cadence sensor. So that's something to be aware of. It's not necessarily a con, but it is something that could detract someone from buying this e-bike. The last thing I want to say, I don't have a lot of cons. As you can tell, I'm kind of smitten with this e-bike. The last thing is the tail light. There is no tail light. Do you see a tail light here? There's no tail light. So you're paying $17.99 for an e-bike, which is not super expensive, but it's definitely on the higher end of some of the bikes that we've reviewed. And it's got everything else. It's got Tektro hydraulic brakes. Why not put a tail light on there as well? Not even a brake light, just a tail light. When you don't put a tail light on an e-bike, you're telling me, don't ride this bike at night. And I like to ride my bikes at night. So not a huge deal. You can get an aftermarket tail light pretty easily for like 20 bucks. Maybe that's the first thing you should do, especially if you enjoy riding in the evenings or you're commuting late from work. So all right, so now I want to give you my final thoughts on the Thunder One from Velotric. I really enjoy this bike a lot, and it's one of my favorite e-bikes that I've ever ridden. I tend to like the lighter city commuter urban e-bikes, probably just because it reminds me of commuting in LA and New York City. I just like bikes that are easy to transport and lift up and, you know, put on the rack, or, you know, put up on hooks in your apartment or your house. This is that kind of bike. In addition to being super light, it's just one of the most high performance e-bikes under $2,000 that we've ever reviewed. It's a beautiful bike. I think if you're into more design and you want a bike that actually is stylish and looks really cool, but is also functional, also has a torque sensor, also has a 350 watt motor and hydraulic disc brakes, this is a really good option for only $1,800. The minimalist design, there are no wires. There is a battery, but it's not visible, it's integrated. It's got a sleek look, and it's just a cool looking bike that's going to turn a lot of heads. And the fact that it's so fun to ride, easy to handle, because the components are a little more upgraded, it shifts so smoothly. I never have any issues when I'm shifting this bike, which you do a lot because it's got the torque sensor. So you got to use all the gears on this bike. I'm super happy with it. I could see myself buying this e-bike, riding this e-bike for a long time. And I really hope that Velotric sends us another one. Whenever the Gen 2 of this comes out, please send it to us, Velotric, because I love this bike. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for more e-bike reviews on Velotric in the coming months and years.